In the industry, is there a stigma about doing Hallmark Christmas movies?
I don't know.
When I watch one that I like, it's got log cabin. It has to have the small town. I don't want anything magical. I don't want a prince of a fake country. Immediately, I'm mad at this. I'll watch it still. Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show.
Welcome to Tosh Show's 16th annual Christmas special. We are extremely excited today because we have former celebrity Tim Allen with us. Santa's here. Santa, I don't want anything for Christmas this year. You've been very kind to me. You've been very generous. I have everything I could ever want. The only thing I'm curious about is who's on your list.
Oh, Daniel, that information is top secret.
Are Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis on your naughty list for writing a letter to have a judge go easy on their Scientologist rapist friend? What about Elon Musk? Do people with Asperger's get a pass? Is Jim Harbaugh on your naughty list for sign stealing? And would he be able to get off the list if he were to beat Nick Saban in the Who's a Bigger Liar and Asshole Bowl, sponsored by Couldn't Cut It in the NFL? Be honest, in week 3, you thought the Colorado hype was real, didn't you? Were you all in on prime time, or were we idiots for getting excited? And can elves make toes in Santa's workshop? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, naughty or nice? The name Chiefs, where are you at on that? Also, you look like Andy Reid. Wait a minute. Is expelled Congressman George Santos on your naughty list for using campaign funds on OnlyFans, or for wearing too many layers? Oh, he's got a button-up, a sweater, and a blazer. What about Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas? He must be a really good guy since he's always accepting so many gifts. What's Hunter Biden's deal? Naked selfies, a handgun, cocaine in the White House? Does being fun put you on the naughty list? I know neither actually celebrate Christmas, but Israel, Palestine. Who's naughty, who's nice? Be careful how you respond. Remember, you're being recorded. What's on Ukraine's wish list? More aid from the U.S.? When you're flying your sleigh over North America, if you happen to see a Chinese spy balloon, what's the move? You seem like a Second Amendment guy. Could you take care of this for us? Can I trade every gift you would ever give my 2 kids for the Miami Dolphins winning the Super Bowl this year? Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
I knew it. All right, Santa, you'll appreciate that my guest today has spent years spreading Christmas cheer to every household in America with basic cable. And since starring in a Hallmark Christmas movie automatically makes you not a celebrity, I am not breaking the show's rich, long-standing tradition. Enjoy.
Tosh Show. Now, I said I wouldn't have celebrities on my show, but I'm making an exception for today's guest because he starred in 16 of my favorite Hallmark Christmas flicks. Please welcome Luke Macfarlane. Luke?
Thank you so much for having me. When I was asked to do this, I was like, is he really a fan of Hallmark Christmas movies? And I got, word that you are, in fact, a watcher of Hallmark Christmas movies.
If I was honest about how much I love them, everyone would assume I'm doing a bit.
It would freak them out, yeah.
Well, I don't even care if it freaked them out, but they wouldn't take me seriously. And I almost need you to know that I'm being honest, or it's kind of meaningless. But yes, I've loved Hallmark movies way, way before it was ever fun to watch them and laugh at some of the silliness of it. And for some reason, my mom, she also loves them, and that's more on brand for what they were doing. But my mom and I, we watched them separately, and then we both found out that we loved them, and now it's a thing. And my wife, when she watches them now with me, and she's a hip, cool comedy writer. So at first she was just kind of mocking, but then you get past that part of it.
Yeah, it's not an unfamiliar story, the one that you've described. And I've been doing it for so long that I kind of saw that change too when they kind of came into the zeitgeist, with the drinking games and the whole thing. But when I first started doing them, it wasn't really on people's radars. So it's been interesting to watch evolution, and also Hallmark kind of change as well. Like, they are also trying to redefine themselves in the space, and they don't want to be a joke. And And they also want to be popular, and they want to be accepting, and they want to be inclusive. So they're kind of going on it. So it's strange in this town to do anything as long as I've done Hallmark films, you know, and just watch everything change around it. Just the people that watch them and the way they make them. And how to make a movie in 14 days. That makes sense.
That's how long it takes them to make them. 14 days.
Generally speaking, I've done some that are a little longer. You know, a snow budget. This is a big part of the Hallmark movies is how much money they're going to spend on snow. So if there's a bigger budget, you might get 16.
Here's what I like about them. Here's what when I watch one that I like, it's got log cabin. It has to have the small town. I don't want anything magical. I don't want a prince of a fake country. I fucking hate that. Immediately, I'm mad at this. I'll watch it still. I also think it's great that the woman always will choose the small town over her great career.
Yeah.
At the end, I always like her, like, oh, I can have it both ways. And it's like, no, you can't. Just once I want her to fucking stay. But anyway.
It's either me or Christmas Melody.
I don't like faith-based. That gets me angry. They do those sometimes. And whatever, that one group that they have, When Calls the Heart, I get...
Parties.
Fuck, I get mad at those.
Yeah, it's
First of all, who comes up with the title, When Calls the Heart? Those are just words put together.
It's a complicated title. They're famous for complicated titles. I did Sense and Sensibility and Snowmen.
No, well, that's at least cute.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't care. It has the word snowman in it, I'm happy.
There wasn't, like, Snowmen wasn't even really a part of
Are you guys competitive with each other?
Yeah, kind of. Like, the more I do it, like, it's like, what time slot did you get?
What do you mean time? They only premiere on Sunday, just 2 of them back to back.
Yeah, but it's leading up to Christmas. It's this sort of distance
saying,
you are out. Like the one that comes right after Halloween kind of feels like...
Guess when I start watching?
Right after Halloween.
Right after Halloween. That's when I accept it.
If it's a little early for a lot of viewers. I think they're still kind of shaking off
Week of
Halloween.
Christmas, I'm not watching them anymore.
Right. So the prime spot
Okay.
is Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because the family's together.
Sure.
They got to find something everybody can watch. So
They shoot them all in the summer. They shoot most of them in Canada.
a lot of them. I have done one in Utah, which was lovely, actually. It was lovely to shoot in
Sure,
Utah.
Utah's pretty, but
Very, very pretty.
But you have to wrap your head around the people.
Well, no, they were actually wonderful. We had great.
I love Mormons, but I'm fascinated by them.
It is an
because
interesting
it's
culture.
insanity. How many Netflix short documentaries do you have to watch where
Yes.
you're like, no,
Or
this is
scripted series. You know what was really impressive was the background is always a big part of these movies, and people were like, "Oh, I'm in a movie. I'm in a movie." They were like silent and so obedient.
Yeah. That's
That
obedient.
sounds about right. I did use the word obedient.
What's the thing? What's the term from that one movie? Keep sweet. Keep sweet. That's what they always said. But anyway, all right. So you're from?
You're not Mormon, are you? Mormon?
No,
Oh,
no.
Okay.
No. But I mean, I did grow up Christian, like really strong. I had a dad that was a pastor.
Really?
I was born in Germany because
Army.
No, missionaries.
Oh.
Because they hadn't heard of the Bible over there.
In Germany?
Right. Like, I don't understand why my parents, who didn't speak German, felt the need to go over to Germany.
Saving souls.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced a Christmas miracle?
Nope.
This is the first question I ask all my guests.
Okay.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
All right. Your parents, were they supportive of your career, wanting to do this?
Yeah, I mean, we don't come from a acting family at all. My dad was a doctor and my mom was a nurse, and music was a big part of our lives. I played the cello, still do play the cello, so like lessons and understood performance and the discipline around the arts. My older sister was a wonderful violinist, and she wanted to study violin at Juilliard. Mm-hmm. And I remember when she, got the Perspectives book, they mailed it to our house, and I saw that they also had acting. And I was like, I think I could do that.
So you're an overachieving family.
Yeah.
I don't like you're good looking and you're overachieving. You play instruments, multiple instruments probably. I'm assuming.
Yeah, badly, but cello is the primary instrument. But my family also just kind of let us do whatever we want too. They really that wasn't the focus. It was like, be good, be kind, take care of people. And
That's all I want from my kids.
They were good.
I just want them to be nice. I'm like, I don't care if you ever achieve anything in life.
I don't want to
be
pay
nice.
for my daughter.
You don't want to what?
Pay for when she's old, though.
Why?
I want her to have a life where
No.
she can really. You want to all the way through.
Till death, till my death.
You're just gonna pay for everything.
Everything.
Oof.
As long as you're just
You're rich
in my life.
Okay, maybe. I don't
And
want to do
sweet.
that. Okay.
Yeah, and to answer your question, yes,
Okay.
I'm rich. How much does Juilliard cost?
I was lucky enough to get a scholarship. Most people there get a scholarship.
Do you want your daughter to go to Juilliard too?
I want her to do whatever she wants to do.
You want her to play the cello?
I would be into that. I'm gonna.
You play the piano too?
A little bit.
Of course you do.
Yeah, a little bit. It's,
I gotta learn to play the piano.
Do you have a piano in the house?
No.
Do you have a kids' room? Mm-hmm. Just put it in the kids' room, and I guarantee you will.
Well,
be
he's
in
got
there.
a little tiny piano in
But
there.
like a shitty plastic one, right?
No, this is like a baby grand tiny one. It looks like a little miniature John Legend, but we can't have him do that.
Are you serious? Okay, so like whatever, fuck off, you're rich. But it's like that sounds very fancy. Okay.
That was a gift. I didn't buy it. I guarantee
From John
somebody.
Legend.
No, it was not from John Legend. By the way, speaking of Juilliard, what was your audition?
I did 2 monologues, one from King Lear. I did Edmund the Bastard Son from King Lear, and I did a Canadian playwright.
Is it anything like Save the Last Dance?
I haven't seen that
Wait,
movie.
are you serious? It's about getting into Juilliard, and it doesn't hold up.
Oh, really?
It's so racist on such a level.
really?
Because the way that she ends up, she's like, I think she's a ballerina. I forget now, and now I'm going to try to go from memory. But then she meets a black guy, and he teaches her how to do hip-hop dance.
Hip-hop.
And it's Julia Stiles, who is just like the epitome of not hip-hop. And she's doing this audition for Juilliard with a chair, and she's like sitting in it, and like they're like, oh, wow, and they're blown away. This is the greatest dancing we've ever seen. Anyway.
The sort of precursor to Save the Last Dance is Fame.
Okay.
When she's the welder and she auditions for Juilliard, and they have all the professors there at the Juilliard thing, and I love it because one of them's wearing his glasses, and then like when she does something a little too sexy, because they've got it wrong, because Juilliard actually doesn't have a ballet program, but she's kind of auditioning for a ballet, and then when she does something not ballet, the one guy takes his glasses off and he goes like, he looks at her, it's like very like he's sexualizing her. It's like he's gonna be a bad teacher for sure.
Did you ever have a crush on Luke Perry?
Never did.
The scar in the eyebrow?
No, he wasn't for me.
Okay.
I was, Mark Wahlberg.
Ugh. A racist? What's wrong with you? He had a hate crime under his belt, so I don't ever let people forget that.
It's totally true.
I always think about that. I'm like, yeah, you know who didn't do that when they were in college? Me.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. When did you come out to your parents?
My second year of college. Came back for Christmas and told them.
Oh,
Bringing us to Christmas.
were they
Next
totally
Hallmark
were they
film.
receptive to it?
Yes, and again, to my father's credit, and I didn't learn this for some time, but it's hard, when your kid is gay. I think he felt like, did I know you, and did you feel safe, and all those things. But he never made it my problem.
By the way, were your parents supportive of your cello playing? Because that, to me, is way worse as a father.
To be a
because I can't imagine having to lug that thing around to all the practices or concerts.
Yeah, my dad played the cello too. Oh. Yeah.
So you had 2 cellos in the truck?
We had in the truck, in the pickup truck.
What could you fit that thing in?
Cello isn't as big as the double bass, so I'm grateful we didn't have a double bass family. Family that plays bass.
Is there a family of double bass players?
And they're probably on Instagram.
You grew up outside of Toronto?
I grew up actually in a town called London, Ontario.
Okay, I know London.
No. Really?
I performed there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's sort of like the Michigan state of Canada.
Okay.
I
I hate Toronto.
I do too.
I've never liked it. One of my least favorite Canadian cities. I don't know why people get into it. I'm like, this is shittier than Detroit.
But I will say, I filmed there in the winter for like 5 years, and it just it's like sad and like dirty, like sidewalks with like cigarette butts, and like that's what I think of when I think of Toronto.
I just am like, this city doesn't have any soul. That's my thing.
I think it does in the summer. I don't know when you were
whatever. Let them cheer for their stupid basketball team. In the industry, is there a stigma about doing Hallmark Christmas movies?
I don't know. I will say that, when I get these offers, I ask my representation. I'm like, guys, is this? And I get like assurances from them. They're like, no, not at all. It doesn't hurt. Like they're not on people's radars. And I'm like, they kind of are.
Now, there's a small group of you that make these, a lot of them.
The theater company.
Do you know these people? Or you have relationships with them? Are you friends with them?
I don't think I've worked with the same female lead more than once.
What about that Candace Cameron Bure? Does she stick her nose up at everybody?
I will admit that I was like nervous to work with her, but she could not have been more lovely.
She probably doesn't approve of your lifestyle.
We never talked about it. We never talked about it.
I would talk about it immediately.
She has a lot of gay friends.
Does she?
Yes.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Do you actually like Christmas? And before you answer, know that this is my absolute favorite holiday. So please answer this correctly, Luke.
Oof. Yes, I do. I do like Christmas. I like Christmas very much. And I remember getting very sad after Christmas as a kid. Like when all the decorations came down and the house felt empty. And I don't know what that was about.
Here's what bothers me about Taylor Swift. I love everything about her.
Yeah.
Her business savvy, all of it. I think
Yeah.
she's a genius.
She's a billionaire.
The fact but yeah, oh man. You know how she used to write songs about her exes? If this Travis Kelce fucks her over, she can buy the Kansas City Chiefs and like fucking move them to London, Canada if she wanted to. Like she could do anything.
Yeah,
that's
true.
beside the point.
Did you just think of that right now?
I did. But
That's great.
But but what I wanted to say was her song, that one song where she goes, "We can leave the Christmas lights up till January." I'm like, that's only fucking 5 days after Christmas.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That line blows my mind. 5 days after Christmas is not worthy of a lyric.
Yeah.
We can leave. Can you believe it? They left their Christmas lights up till January 2nd. You've done some other besides Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yes.
Hallmark does other holidays.
Yes.
Those are garbage.
But it's part of when you're in the stable.
Uh-huh.
You gotta pay your dues. You gotta do.
You gotta do Valentine's.
You gotta do Valentine's. You gotta do. The seasonality of Hallmark is really. I think I've hit all the other seasons.
The ones I didn't like, I'll be honest with you, Shoe Addict Christmas, Time Travel, fucking stupid.
It was there was.
She puts on new shoes and she time travels, guys. If you don't, she time travels because it's a Shoe Addict's Christmas. I didn't know that one. That one made me angry.
But Jean Smart. I mean, Jean Smart was in that.
I don't care.
She was so good in that. She really was. Attic is a tough word to use in a Hallmark film.
Shoe Addict. Chateau Christmas, loved it. You know, setting Tahoe. I live in Tahoe, so I always get excited. Even though, also randomly George Lopez was in that one.
Was he?
I think he was like a bellman or a door.
He definitely wasn't.
George Lopez is in one of these as a hotel person. He's just like, why is he in this Hallmark movie? And it's such a small role.
That is the fascinating thing. Like they get some like I've worked with some really
one of those
interesting
twins
people.
from the Home Builders.
Oh yes,
Was in one of them. Didn't want that.
yeah. He was acting.
Yeah, he was like a big city rep or something in one of them.
He wasn't playing like a home builder.
But let's get back to Chateau. You play the cello in that one.
I do.
Oh, that's exciting.
It was exciting. I tell you, when I first got the script, I played the violin, and I was like, "Change it to the cello, please," and they did.
Okay, so you do have pull.
Oh, huge.
All right, well, good. Then here's what I want done. Here's my two. I have two notes that if you could do this.
Yep.
Because I don't care if you fucking studied at Juilliard or anyway. No actor can pull this off.
Playing a fake instrument, a string instrument.
No, that's not what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Holding a cup of hot cocoa or coffee that's empty and me believing that there's something in it. Your arms don't move the right way. It's too fucking light. You put water in it every time. It's infuriating.
Daniel, we are learning. We are learning, and this feedback has been given a lot.
Just put something in every day. I can tell that there's nothing in it. Second note.
Yes.
Put some fucking bricks in the luggage.
Yeah.
I can tell when they're hitting the curb
Yeah.
that it's empty.
Yeah.
It's like, just put bricks in there and be done with it, you idiots.
Can I tell you, my first Christmas movie, I was, a Christmas tree farmer, and I had a pickup truck.
Yeah.
And
Was it red?
I don't remember.
It's red.
I don't remember. And this is when we filmed in Utah. And it was like, again, it was my first Christmas movie. I wasn't like, it was like, you shoot a lot. And I remember I was coming from the hardware store, of course, and I just kind of loaded loosely my shit into the back of the pickup truck. And I'm a pickup truck owner. You can't just put a can of paint in the back of the pickup truck. It's just going to bounce all over the place.
Insane.
And I was really embarrassed when I saw that. And then, of course, someone sent me a tweet where they're like, of course, Luke just loads things loosely in the back of his pickup truck. I was really embarrassed. And now I do, because people do watch them with a kind of,
Yes.
eye for that sort of detail.
They're just great movies. They're just fun to watch. I just love them.
And did you watch it before your wife? Like,
way before my wife. I wasn't even married. My wife was barely born when I started watching these.
She's young.
Oh my God, she's a child. How much? She's 13 years younger than me. I guess.
Okay.
I'm 48. She's 30. No, I don't know how old she is. Is she 36? Huh. Interesting.
Hig's younger than me too. That's why he can he can do things like.
Are you better looking?
He's a very good looking guy.
But are you better looking?
I'm not saying. He does say to our daughter, "This is your handsome dad," and I'm like, no,
Handsome father.
That's not true.
Your partner is an American alpine skier.
Yes, he is.
Named Hig.
Hig
which
Roberts.
seems perfect for my Hallmark Christmas movie idea. Bring me some Higgy pudding. No. Do you ski? Do you snow ski?
I can now because of my partnership with Hig. He's obviously an incredible skier, and
Why do you say partnership?
I don't know, because we're not married.
Well, you don't say
And
boyfriend?
Boyfriend. I guess I could say boyfriend. It feels different now because we're raising a kid together. We'll get married one day. I don't care if you get married.
If you want to get to heaven, you'll do the right thing.
You better do that right before you die. I'm sure we will at some point. But he's an amazing skier, and it's been crazy. Like for a guy that I did not. We had like a garbage hill in my town, like an old garbage hill that became the ski hill. So I skied there, and with Hig, I've skied in Zermatt and Chamonix.
Have you ever seen him take a bad spill?
I mean, I've seen
on film or something like that.
Yeah, he was it was famous on how Sports Center plays the biggest moments, and there's this one of him at a World Cup. Coming down, getting so pissed off and breaking his poles over his leg.
Oh, that's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
It's so crazy because anybody can stand on the top of a hill and just lean forward and go down. It's absurd when they say the amount of people that die every year, I'm like, it should be 1,000 times higher.
Absolutely. It's also the ice that, you and I are used to skiing on in Tahoe. This is, it's ice. They hose it down. It's ice. You can hit it with a hammer. It's crazy.
When did you come? You came out in 2008 to the Hollywood.
I had my first job in television. It was right after I graduated from college, and I was working on this military show.
Did you straighten it up? Did you straighten up for no reason?
I do remember very clearly, when I booked this show, I was talking to one of the representatives that I worked with at the time, and they were like, "This is a really good part for you." And the implication was because I was playing
I know what that implication
a straight
is.
military dude, so it didn't feel so good.
Do you feel that coming out affected your career?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
You think had you not, you would have been Wolverine?
No.
Or the Greatest Showman?
It's.
I'm not saying anything about.
Oh, I know.
Anything.
Oh, I know.
I'm just saying.
I have no idea. But I can't imagine who I would be if I hadn't.
Here's what I think, though, back to the point when we were talking about if coming out kept you from something. Because I'm sure, whether it's happened to you, it's certainly happened to others. I would be fine with, as kind of a retribution of sort, that only gay people were allowed to be in anything. I would be fine with that. I would be like, okay, let's do this for 30 years, and then
we'll invite.
Or maybe we're allowed to keep 5 straights now. We get to vote on it. I'll take Christian Bale.
Okay.
I don't know. My list ends there.
Walken?
No, fuck. He's too old. Who cares? But anyway, that's my list.
Christian Bale
is the only straight actor I would be like, all right, keep him. Also, I get annoyed when somebody comes out and you hear people. They're like, oh, we don't even care. Nobody cares anymore. It's hold on. Everybody cares.
They do.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
We care. We want to talk about it.
I mean, the big thing now is if Luke's allowed to play straight, should he not be allowed to play straight?
Right.
If only gay people are allowed to play gay characters.
But I have the easiest answer for this.
Yeah.
It's just no. He can do it. He can play straight.
think
Anybody
so
that's ever been marginalized gets to do everything.
Yeah.
There's my stance.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know if I was ever limited. I don't know if things were ever held from me. But I mean, network testing for a television show is a big deal. You got all these people there. They're curious. They're afraid. They're just afraid. They're afraid their thing that they're spending all this money on is not going to make money. And there's famous stories of things that tested really badly and did really well. Bros, the movie I just did. It tested really, really, really well. Like I remember going to one of the screenings with Judd Apatow and him saying like, this is tested better than any movie I've ever done.
I saw the movie. I paid to see the movie.
Thank you very much.
I felt like sometimes it was trying to be raunchy, funny. Sometimes it was trying to be heartfelt, and there was a balance there that wasn't perfect. And that's coming from an idiot.
Yeah, no, I mean, Billy's a really big fan of like this sort of, the movies from the 90s, the You Got Mail, the Notting Hill. And I think, his sensibility is much more of the sort of like big, open-hearted rom-com. And, and Judd and Nick are like, jokes are really important. So I thought it was a really successful hybrid of those two things. And I think I think he did what he wanted to do.
Are you in the spitting on the hand scene?
Yes. I don't know. There was a whole scene in Bros where they had made at great expense. I remember the director calling me. He was like, Luke, just want to know if we spend $30,000 making a fake butt of Billy, and would you be comfortable like eating that fake butt?
Way more comfortable than eating real ass on camera.
And I said, sure. And they made this fake butt, and I did that, and it never ended up in the movie.
Oh, but do you have the butt?
I think Billy does, actually.
Oh, well,
$30,000 to make that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I always think is bizarre. As I had a show where we would do little comedy bits.
Yes.
And giving notes to real actors is impossible. So like I would only just use my writers as actors.
Oh, okay.
And I would never.
So you just tell them what you want them to do.
I'd be like, hey, be gayer.
Right.
Right. And like, let's end that dumb conversation.
You can't do thing.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Trouble.
That would give me right. I get it. That's why that's not my thing.
Yeah.
But it would cut through some conversations that are so stupid.
It's also hard to receive a note. Like no actor is like, because they just want to think what they just did was like great, So it's about like massaging the like. You're like that was really good. Why don't we try this?
I'm always like, do you want it louder or faster?
Yeah,
those are my two.
The more confident I get as an actor, that's generally what I want. Yeah, just direct.
Do you need it faster? I'll do it. I'll give you one more faster.
Totally. And like angry and like go up at the end. I can do that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were in a Netflix Christmas movie.
I was. Yes.
Was the paycheck bigger?
Smaller.
Did Hallmark say, "Hey, knock it off"?
So I've had like sort of overall deals with them, and in the I'm going to commit to 5 episodes or 5 Christmas movies or 5 movies. But I can't work for any other network, and they name all the other networks, and they can't be holiday-related movies. So I was able to do that because I was outside of my deal with them.
Do Hallmark movies pay? Mm-hmm. They pay you well, and your rate goes up, I assume, every time. Mm-hmm. That's a nice thing.
It is a nice thing.
I don't know if I knew that they paid.
They do.
Are Hallmark Christmas scripts written by the same people that write the cards?
No, not at all. They're actually 2 separate companies. Crown Media is what does it, and I'm not quite sure what the licensing deal is with the card.
What about residuals? You doing okay on residuals with Hallmark movies?
They have to air a certain amount of time before you start getting, because as you know, they air them a lot. So if you end up doing one of the ones that kind of hits and is popular, it gets aired more and more, so you eventually get residuals.
How about that shoe one? Is that one airing a lot?
I don't know if I've gotten residuals for Shoe Addicts Christmas.
One time I had my wife, I go, I want you to write a Hallmark Christmas movie. Okay. And she's like, all right, done. She went in, took the meeting, and they're like, oh, we're going to.
Oh, really? Who'd you pitch to?
An older Jewish woman. It was really nice. Here's they gave us the do's and the don'ts.
Yeah, I'm so curious about this.
Okay. Yeah. We always is written caps. We like a strong female lead, early to mid 30s, and she needs to have a romance. This is always our A story. Yeah. Our audience is women 25 to 54, and we don't like to stray from what we do. It's kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. We are family-friendly PGG in nature. A rule of thumb when watching our movies is you want to be able to watch them with your 80-year-old grandmother and your 8-year-old niece. HC, Hallmark Channel. By the way, I don't give a fuck about movies and mystery. Don't even tell me about your resume there.
You really do.
Those are so stupid. I don't want any extra drama. It's just a warm feeling when it's on in the background.
It's hard when there's a mystery and there's a body with no blood. There's never blood on the body.
Typically light romantic comedies with a heartwarming ending. All right, let's get to the do's.
Okay.
want establishers at the top of the movie to set up the city or town. We want lots of coverage when shooting and any inserts when necessary. Please stay away from killing off family members. There tends to be a lot of dead father, mother, wife, husbands in our movies, and we're trying to get away from that.
Yes.
How about this? No bowling.
Oh, I didn't.
Fucking note.
Wow.
There's a note. No bowling. Our content is not sexual in nature at all. A kiss is enough to show the romance in our movies, and we usually save this moment for the end when our leads get her fairy tale ending.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys have broken that. Now they're doing kisses in act like 5 or 6.
All the way through.
Oh my goodness.
Makeout sessions.
Does your partner, does he prefer that you kiss women over men
I mean, he's
in an acting role?
I don't think he's really bothered by either way. I mean, he's seen me both kiss men and women in various projects.
Do you have a preference?
I don't know. It's acting. It's like, it's not that weird. You know, I don't find it that uncomfortable. The most uncomfortable I ever got was right before the kissing scene when my female lead asked me, she's like, do you get the feeling in your tummy when you kiss a woman?
What?
And I was like, yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
I think
I had no feeling in my
I think
tummy.
she was feeling anxious because I think she gets the feeling, and she wanted to know that I got the feeling too.
No, you just tell her to shut up.
It was a little irky. It was a little uncomfortable.
So I always give anybody that comes on my show gifts, but I don't buy them anything. I just take stuff from my house and give them to them because I can't stand things in my house. I don't like it. So I get rid of stuff always.
I am the exact same way.
So anyway, here I'm going to give you your gift.
I hope it's like a baby associated.
It's all baby associated. It's baby associated and Christmas associated because you have a little girl now.
Yes.
I have a 9-month-old girl now.
Oh, wow.
I have a 4-year-old boy, but a 9-month-old girl. So I'm just and you're Canadian, so anything that was Canadian related.
Oh, it's a reindeer.
I got little Uggs for
Oh,
her for
come
Christmas.
on.
It's all hand-me-downs.
This is quality.
I know. No, that's really good.
We're going to New York next week too.
And if you ever want her to look like Handmaid's Tale, or like if they did a Christmas movie, I don't know what somebody gave us this. This is fucking horrible.
My gosh,
But
this is adorable.
It's not. That's not adorable.
Put on your little jacket.
They're Canadian.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is great. Oh, come on. This is too
good
generous.
No, what are you talking about?
Wow.
This is nothing. There's more in here.
Oh, wow.
Here, just put that over there.
That's so good. I was going to ask you.
Just don't, just throw it all in there. You're a citizen now of America.
Of America. I became a citizen in, I actually don't know the date. Maybe I want to say 2018.
Was that test hard?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
But it'd be actually fun to do it with can I ask you a couple questions?
No.
Really?
No. But I'm big on not letting people know how dumb I am.
I don't. I think you would know. Who was the president during the First World War?
The First World War?
Yeah, that's it.
Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson?
Who was the president of the First World War?
Woodrow Wilson.
I would have never in a million years got that. Why?
Yeah.
You have to know that?
They give you all the questions, so you basically just have to memorize them.
Were you ever a model?
No, never.
Never.
No, never. Was that one of your questions?
No.
Okay. No, never. I actually find it really hard to take pictures. It's a totally
the
different.
worst.
It's very different.
I despise it still. And I won't hold a prop. They always try to get you for press photos to hold something, and I'm like, I'm not fucking putting anything in my hands, because one time I did a promo photo like this. And it's used on every review of anything that says I have a new special or something, and it's
Yeah, we do a lot of promo for Hallmark makes the classic movies, and then you're usually holding an associated prop. Mm-hmm. So for Shoe Addicts Christmas, I think Candace was holding a shoe.
Mm-hmm. I bet you Candace had her cross front and center.
I think she did wear a cross in that movie.
Oh, I'm sure she did. What's your favorite Christmas movie? It doesn't have to be Hallmark.
Everyone was saying for a long time, Die Hard, man.
What?
Die Hard's Christmas
Who the fuck
movie.
says that?
People are saying
You're
that.
hanging out with douchebags.
Yeah, but it's not. My favorite Christmas movie is Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh. I don't like that either.
No, I don't know. What are your favorite Christmas movies?
I'm not an Elf person, but I think Elf is
great.
genuinely good.
Special.
And I like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
It's great. He throws some crazy faces in that movie. He is the king of He does weird faces in that movie.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thank you, Luke, for being on the show. I
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
it very much.
Pleasure. to chat
All the
with you.
best.
Thank you for being a fan, and thank you for the gifts.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
All right. Tosh Show. Hey, Carl. Carl. Hey. This is exactly why we can't interview actors. Because I have to pretend like I liked their project. And I'm going to be honest with you. I love Luke. I've made that very clear. But Catch Me If You Claus was a disaster. This is not my kind of a Hallmark Christmas movie. I told him that. I told him what I don't like, and he led me blindly into this. First of all, it had magic. Spoiler alert, he's Santa Claus's son, and he gets caught in a house where this woman who's trying to become a reporter, but her mom's a famous reporter, but she can't do it or can't hack it, and she's just not getting the opportunity. So they say, why don't you try to dress sluttier and show your boobs, and then maybe you'll get on camera. So I think that's kind of part of the plot. But then she's like, oh my goodness, I caught this burglar in my house, but it's Santa Claus's son and he knows everything about everybody. They end up going to some cool gay bar while the cops are chasing them. And there's kidnapping because there is a real Santa burglar on the loose. It's just nonsense. It's not a cute town. The town's garbage, if you ask me. I want a quaint town. I want a cute story. The end. This story was complicated. I had no idea what was going on, and my mom hated it. But that being said, I loved Luke. Great job, Luke. And thank you for being on the show. All right, what else is going on? Oh, it's time for the coveted comment of the year. Eddie, who we got?
All right, Prime Logic 5562 says, generally love the border, but please get rid of the show.
Loves the border, says get rid of the show. I mean, come on. What do I have to plug? The GOAT, it's a reality show that I'm hosting, comes out next year. Boys Wear Pink, the charitable clothing line that I started for my son. Make sure you place your order before the holiday, and I'll probably get that to you early first quarter. Tickets on sale for my show in Los Angeles for the Netflix is a Joke. It will be May 4th at the Dolby Theater. Oh, that's where they shoot the Oscars, where the violence takes place on stage. I might do a reenactment. Will Smith, I'll comp you 2 tickets at the door for you and your unfaithful wife. Oh, before we go, I have one final gift. A bedtime story from my 3-year-old son. So, on behalf of Carl and I, happy holidays, which means Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. That's it. You're great too, Muslims. All right, we'll be back with new episodes January 9th, taking 2 weeks off. Happy New Year. Okay, it's Christmas. Go ahead and tell me a story.
Once upon a time, there were 2 little trains. All they wanted to do is do an train race, but they couldn't. So, they built a train track. The little boys built a train track, and then the 2 little trains, rode on it. And then one of them broke. And then they couldn't sit, but again, but again.
Hey. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show.